Hello and welcome. I'm Matthew David Hurtado, and this is the Alpha Upgrade Lifestyle webinar titled, Who Else Wants to Be Getting Paid Online 24/7 so you can travel wherever love calls you? Again, this is the Alpha Upgrade Lifestyle by Design webinar that puts you on the path to freedom, finances, and exotic adventure. I'm going to make you a promise. If you stay through this webinar, and I will warn you, it will be lengthy, but it will be jam-packed with incredible value. So if you stay on the webinar, I'm going to offer you some amazing free opportunities to go ahead and make breakthrough transformations right in this webinar, right here and now, that you're not going to find elsewhere or be able to do in a short amount of time like you can do while you're right here and now. I'm going to show you how to find your purpose in life, your path to prosperity, identify it. And I'm also going to show you how to use a manifestation process that is the most powerful one that I've ever discovered that allowed me to literally double my business within 30 days. I was talking about an established business now where this is a lot more complicated. And this is something I learned from a high-end mentor. I'm going to give you that process in the webinar. We're going to take you right through it. You're going to be able to release the unconscious blocks, money blocks that are standing in the way. You're going to be able to get some free samples of some products that I would like you to try and more, all in this webinar. It's rich with value. So stick around and stay through it. Pause it if you have to, but stay with it, and I think you're going to be transformed on the other side. In fact, I would be willing to bet on it if you pay attention and really give it your 100%. How would you like to be doing this? There's a picture, and that picture was taken at a very nice resort, and I think that trip ended up being around $25,000 or more for that trip. So how would you like to travel with a beautiful woman, a new lover or a current lover? Fly off to a nice resort without even looking at the price tag or worrying about showing up for work. I want you to think quality time with someone that you love, or having the time freedom to do this. Invest your focus and your energy into building a lean, sculpted, youthful physique that gets you the attention and passionate love that you deserve, not to mention the health that you deserve. Or how about being able to do this? Spend the day, or all summer long if you want. Think quality time by your pool with the kid or the kids or whoever, and relax in the sunshine on the pool deck of your new mansion. The truth is, I didn't do any of those things because I wanted to be rich or successful. I will candidly admit I wanted to be loved. I was dying when this journey began for me. I wanted to spend quality time with people that I love. I didn't care about the money. I'm truthfully motivated in life. I'm very, very motivated. But I'm not money motivated. I'm motivated by beauty, travel, music, love, and freedom, life. You won't impress me with millions of dollars, your fancy jet, your houses, your cars. And it didn't mean a thing when I acquired the things that I always dreamed of. Just the ability to enjoy quality relationships and the time freedom to do what I liked and loved with who I loved. That's what mattered to me most. So yes, those were snapshot images of my life when I quote-unquote arrived. At the age of 36 years old, I attained a lifestyle most reserved for professional athletes or rock stars back in the 1980s that used to sell out coliseums. I'm not a Hollywood actor, and you should know that I wasn't born with a silver spoon up my rear. There wasn't a trust fund waiting for me when I landed on this planet. In fact, we were always the poor family that had to humbly drive the old beat-up cars. We always had food and shelter and a hard work mindset. It's not that my folks were lazy. They just didn't know anything but the 9-to-5 rat race. So I wasn't born knowing how to do any of this stuff. So if you stay on this webinar, I'm going to give you the mechanics of how I manifested my labor of love that brought me all these things. And you will be able to do the same thing I did. You see, you can work on the beach. You can enjoy time freedom, financial freedom. Now, I know you have excuses going forward because I had plenty of excuses. I was right there in that picture with my son George. He was just a few years old back then, and I was down to skin and bones. I was dying of Lyme disease. I was barely able to walk. That was right before we bankrupted and lost everything. It was the most hard and challenging time that I ever went through in my entire life. I had every reason to give up. I shouldn't have amounted to anything. I should have been dead by now. But once you find your reason why it can't be done, you have found your power to accomplish whatever you desire. Now, you won't hear that anywhere else because that is the absolute truth. The real thing that you haven't looked at yet, if you're like most people, is reality. If you were to live a lifestyle that you dream about having and getting there before you become too old to enjoy it, how much monthly income would you say it would require? If you haven't looked at every debt that you have and added it up and looked at all of the expenses that you need to come up with on a month-to-month basis to live the life that you dream of living, then you haven't boldly stared at your paper dragon of fear, measuring the gap of its fangs between where you are and where you want to be. And most likely, it's because you're heavily distracted. Now, if you were to be real, if you haven't yet arrived, notice how this hasn't gotten you anywhere, but older. So is life getting easier, or is it getting more stressful as you advance in age? Now, the chances are you'll die broke. I don't mean to say that to make you mad. I just want to face reality so we can do something about it. You see, my grandfather who raised me was an educated man from Spain, and he raised me on hard work. He died with his dreams inside of him and flat broke. I remember him telling me how he was going to live his dreams when he finally retired and invest his money to buy a Mazda Miata to drive my grandma around and all these wonderful things that he was waiting for. And I remember him staring at me on his deathbed. And he looked at my grandma and he looked at me just a handful of months after he retired, dying of cancer. And he looked at my grandmother and said, "Make sure that Matthew doesn't do what I did. Make sure he lives his dreams." You see, he died with his dreams inside of him. And because he followed the 9-to-5 grind, the 45-year plan for the $40 watch at the end of it, he died flat broke. Now, Grandpa always secretly believed that rich people were crooks, and this belief prevented him from becoming rich. You see, 95% of people, like my grandpa, who work for other people in the 9-to-5 grind, they work jobs or they're self-employed with no leverage. These people end up broke or dead or disabled at retirement. They didn't want to face the ugly truth, and it is an ugly truth. Here it is. They are coming after your money. Who's they? The entire system, the establishment. The entire system is stacked against you. Your hard work is only going to get you more hard work. Hard work does not equate to more money. Rich people do things differently. They understand the world from a different perspective. Rich people are spenders, not penny-pinching savers. Rich people fear missing out on opportunity more than they fear losing it all. And the number one common denominator for most self-made millionaires is this: one or more bankruptcies. Here's what my 2 bankruptcies that I incurred in my life taught me. The death of money is an illusion. Life goes on after the bill collectors take all your belongings. I will tell you that is true. You realize that you made it out alive with the experience of what you did wrong, so you gained wisdom from that experience, or hopefully you learn the lesson. It is better to invest in wisdom up front and pursue experience in a pleasing way than to go through a bankruptcy and have life hand you a default lesson. So this is an opportunity today to take notice and get a little bit of that wisdom up front if you're interested. So let's look at this again. Let's be honest and wake up from the illusion and say, how much would it take and would you require to live life on your own terms? What does it cost to buy your life back? Living the lifestyle you dream of having, not the one you settled for. Do you need $10,000 a month? Do you need $25,000 per month? Do you need $500,000 per month? How much is it costing you right now to remain stuck in your current circumstances? If you can't just get up and go to do what you want to do when you want to, you're not free or wealthy enough yet. So what's the gap? You take your desired income. Let's say it's $10,000 a month. Most people say they want $10,000 a month. And then I want you to take your desired income and subtract the exact amount of money that you brought in the last 30 days. And since we're not doing this face-to-face, I want you to be stone cold honest about it, because staring at objective reality with a keen eye and a sense of courage to do something about it is what will enable you to manifest the breakthrough that I'm going to give you on this webinar today, because I'm going to give you a breakthrough that you won't get anywhere else. This is going to wake you up, and it's going to help you. It's going to allow you to really pierce through the veil if you want to achieve the type of lifestyle that I'm talking about. So, what about the intangible cost of the lost years? If you're not living the life that you dream of and you're settling, are you ever going to get these years back that you've given up? No. Will your life be any better as you age in today's youth-driven society? And will you be celebrated as you age or become a burden on society? Someone who gets in the way of the arrogant morons currently responsible for the tab, the Social Security program. If history has proven itself to repeat, they will leave you high and dry, left to be medicated and sedated until you expire. So how much are you losing every single year? Remember, rich people pay attention to the cost of lost opportunity. The real value in life is intangible until it becomes visible. You could say rich people use foresight to plan their tomorrow, while poor people use hindsight to idolize the past, and they stuff debt into their present by cramming their future into their now. Pay attention to what I just said. What are you missing out on? Quantify it right now. If the gap between where you are, let's say it's $6,000 a month extra that you need to buy your life back, that's costing you over $70,000 per year. That's your lost opportunity cost. That lost opportunity cost is the real price that you are paying for remaining stuck, not to mention the intangible cost of all the time that you will never get back in this go-around, this journey. If you believe in eternal life, that's one thing, but you're going to die one day like everybody else, and every day we get closer to that day, and we never know when it's going to happen. You see, the problem with most people that retire broke, dead, or disabled is that they never lived to begin with. Let that thought sink in. Now, if you're stuck, the real reason why you're stuck and haven't arrived yet, I'm going to share with you what I believe it is. And I think that nobody's had the brains or the balls to tell you this until today. Success is not a mindset, and it's not massive action. Contrary to what some popular guru sells you on the idea of massive action, he sells you that because people believe in it. In other words, he's clever enough to sell what people are buying. Think about that. He won't tell you the answer that works because, like a doctor who needs patients to keep his condo in Florida paid for, if you found your way to the top, the guru's out of business. Again, think hard about that. A mechanic's dream happens when your car breaks down on the side of the road. And when you buy a new car and finance it, it's the financier's wet dream. Everywhere you turn, someone's dream is there being fulfilled. So why aren't you getting yours? Why are you stuck? Information abounds. There's no lack of information on the internet. So you shouldn't be stuck. But if you are, I know why. You can't get motivated because you got lost too many times and you wore yourself out, right? Now, if it seems too good to be true, well, then you know it is, right? You may be in a mason jar of confusion, to be honest. The ability to see ahead with foresight. Remember, that's what I talked about. Now, here's a question I want to ask you, a string of questions. Are you positive you'll wake up tomorrow? Are you certain the car in the opposing lane won't swerve over to end your life today? Have you really inspected your food to make sure it wasn't poisoned before you ate it? We live in a matrix of presumptions. We call our trust in these presumptions our faith. But this blind faith is just a presumptive memory. It's a series of lies that we tell ourselves. Now, the other preachers out there will tell you about faith, and they'll tell you to believe that God's will must entail you to be where you are to learn some lesson. Or perhaps your infidelity or past wrongdoing has caused you to pay a karmic debt to a God who demands justice from you. Or you remain isolated in a me versus them battle inside, where you belittle yourself in your mind to accommodate living by their design. In other words, you may be more screwed after all. So let's get to the breakthrough moment for you. Here it is. Success is actually a place, not a mindset. It's not an action strategy. Prosperity occurs only in the place that you're meant to be. Burn that into your mind. Prosperity only occurs and is only guaranteed in the place that you are meant to be. And here is the working definition of prosperity that fits the bill. Prosperity is when the universe supports you doing what you love in a way that allows you to have all the resources, including but not limited to money, you need to fulfill your purpose in life. Prosperity is a reward for showing up in the world as the person that you're supposed to be. Now, I want you to pause for a minute. I want you to know, when you were born in this world, you were held in the womb of creation. You were given all of the nourishment you needed through your mother while you were being developed and formed. And when you came out, most likely, you were embraced. Somebody changed you. Somebody fed you. You were taken care of every step of the way. This is the natural order of an orderly universe. You see, that is what prosperity is, when the universe takes care of you. But what happens is you become an adult and you become adulterated, and this whole misconstrued idea of chasing money becomes the downfall, and you are lured into it. As one of my mentors, Deepak Chopra, says, there are two goddesses that live inside of you, the goddess of wealth and the goddess of wisdom. If you're like most people, you will chase after the goddess of wealth, and she'll forever elude you. But if you're smart, you'll go after the goddess of wisdom, and the goddess of wealth will become jealous and chase after you for a lifetime. Prosperity is also the ability to lend. I can lend you this wisdom right now. You see, I've purchased it and made it my own. I have the authority, I'm an author, and I have the authority to empower you with my treasures because I have them. Prosperity is the proof that you are where you belong. And the fragrance of prosperity is excitement and childlike curiosity. Again, this childlike curiosity became adulterated at some point, and that is where you lost your way. You can sniff it out amongst the many options to choose from. Again, as it says in the Bible, there are many paths, but the straight and narrow one opens the door to the kingdom within. Now, let's talk about the spread or the gap between where you are now financially and spiritually and where you desire to be. And here's what I submit to you. It is a measurement in consciousness. Most people mistake the word consciousness for some new age term that only applies to people who do yoga and eat all vegan, maybe in California, etc. But we're here to see the path to your success. So here is what consciousness actually is. Again, we want to look at the actual definition of a word so we understand what we're talking about and not make presumptive statements and assume. Consciousness is the state of being awake and aware of one's surroundings, the awareness or perception of something by a person, or the fact of awareness by the mind of itself and the world. Notice a few of these words that will stick out again and again. Aware, awake, aware. God consciousness is what I submit to you will get you everything you want in life. This is from the Bible in Matthew 6, verses 33. But seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. The money and success you desire are these things that you are seeking, most likely. Truth be told, you probably want to be loved like me, and you just think you need the money and success to do it, because we live in a very artificial culture that is immature, where money is the proof of success. So, question, where are you currently seeking to get these things? Are you operating from another person's wisdom, someone who is of the world and trusting in your lying eyes, what you see outside of you in your outer kingdom? Let me give you the power that unlocks supernatural increase. It's true faith. Faith is what unlocks miracles. The only way to access a miracle is through faith, actual faith. Remember the story of the mustard seed in the Bible. If you had the faith of a mustard seed, you could move a mountain. Now, success is a place of faith and not safety. In other words, success is the result of being in the faith zone and unlocking miracles and getting out of the safe zone where you're trying to suppress your own power. So life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. Helen Keller. The roadmap back to the place of success is to ask and answer this question. This would be a good time to get out a pen and paper and write this down. What is the fastest path to my joy in this moment, regardless of the fallout? You see, if you begin to ask and answer that question before taking any action, and you begin to align with your highest excitement through following the fastest path to your joy, this is the physics of putting you and you back together again, where your prosperity is already aligned. Just like when you were born into this world, this is your natural state of being that you became adulterated away from. This whole workshop that you're involved in now, called a webinar, is going to put you back into your natural state of being and anchor in the consciousness of allowing, so you can make miracles happen in every moment of your life and live in the spontaneous fulfillment of desire and escape the routine rat race of life where most people die before they ever achieve any of their dreams. Are you feeling embarrassed and stuck because you can't focus or concentrate? I have a confession to make. I spent years unable to think clearly, like I was in a fog. I was going through the motions, running my companies, and I hated feeling groggy and mentally sluggish. I couldn't get ahead like this. It's no secret, the powers that be want us dumbed down. Chemicals, fluoride, our brains are under siege, and we are experiencing lower IQs. But now there's a weapon to fight back and win. Introducing DNA Evolve, a revolutionary breakthrough in a category of cognitive enhancers called nootropics. I've been using DNA Evolve and couldn't feel better. For me, it works. It feels great to get things done again and get ahead. Try a free sample for yourself at DNAEvolveSample.com. That's DNAEvolveSample.com. Supplies are limited, so go to DNAEvolveSample.com right now. Now, here is a story of how I applied this concept, the question you just wrote down. What is the fastest path to my joy in this moment? I began with Lyme disease. You saw the picture. It was an awful sight. I had PTSD on top of it. But somehow I managed to get my ass out of bed and drive myself 3 hours to do a training for a job that was going to give me $7 an hour. It made absolutely no sense whatsoever. My logical mind was not liking this idea too much. But inside of me, it was the fastest path to my joy. So I pursued it in spite of what it looked like. You see, I didn't pay attention to my lying eyes. I followed the fastest path to my joy, and I ended up working in a nutrition store that had a smoothie bar, and I enjoyed my time there. It was getting me back into life again after I had been bedridden for almost 2 years. I started to interact with people, and I loved it. I got to spend quality time with people like I'm spending with you, enriching the relationship and building a deeper connection with life. This brought me happiness and joy. So I stayed the course, and I stayed with the job. And then an opportunity came up. And I had an opportunity to go after and chase the goddess of wealth. You see, the goddess of wealth did not like me chasing the goddess of wisdom, so she tried to seduce me in her Delilah spell and bring me into a job to chase the money, doing something I would hate doing, sell windows and siding. Someone tried to recruit me and offered me a nice little carrot. So I talked to my mentor, and my mentor says, "Is it the fastest path to your joy to sell windows and siding?" And I said, "No, it's not. But they're offering me $20,000 a month if I can complete the training and succeed." And he said, that's all a bunch of BS. He said, it's not for you if it's not the fastest path to your joy. And I said, well, how am I ever supposed to make a living with a $7 an hour job in a smoothie bar? And he said, you don't know the entire picture yet. You follow your joy regardless of the fallout, moment by moment. So I stayed the course, and I started breaking sales records there. And then I started thinking, it would be nice if I could own a franchise store like this. So I asked my mentor, and I said, I'm starting to get the idea that I wouldn't mind owning a store like this someday, and I seem to be good at it. And he said, of course you're good at it. It's the fastest path to your joy still, right? And I said, yes. He said, well, that is putting you back on your destiny. He said, you might end up owning that store if you stay the course. You never know what the universe has in mind for you. Well, lo and behold, I ended up taking over the store, but again, my logical mind was not happy because the store was losing $4,000 a month when I took it over. And I signed over all of the debts into my name, and I got access to the entire store, all the product lines, the entire franchise store was mine, with one contingency. I had to pay the bills, and it was losing money. Now, this scared me, but it was the fastest path to my joy, to remain in that store and to serve those people and to love my customers. And so I stayed there. And as I watched the store's numbers become dauntingly horrifying after a few weeks, and I recognized that I might be in deep crap here and I might be in over my head, I asked my mentor what to do. I said, should I start taking massive action? I need to do something. I need to work this out. And he said, never approach a problem from the level of the problem. You cannot solve it there. He said, you must get into the fastest path to your joy where the solution will spontaneously appear. So I kept doing that, and instead of sitting there cleaning the store and organizing the shelves and being busy to try to appear like I was successful, I went in the back room and I played my guitar. And I really enjoyed playing my guitar. And I thought, this is the life. I get to be here in my own store and play my guitar. And I took my eyes off the problem and I put them on the solution. And lo and behold, one moment, a flashing insight came into my mind, and I had this brilliant idea downloaded into my consciousness. I sat down and I wrote it out on paper, and I acted on it immediately, and it took me 7 minutes. And that 7 minutes of work translated into a 6-figure income in less than 30 days. I downloaded an idea from the fastest path to my joy, leading me into my place of excitement, where I was the equivalent vibration of what I was seeking in my life. It was a match, so the answer had to show up. Prosperity was my reward for following my passion. Now, my passion could change at any given moment, and it did. Eventually, my passion became out of the store. I wasn't happy being in the store anymore. Too many hours. I was making too much money online. So I released the store, and I followed my passion elsewhere. And I ended up building a couple 7-figure companies back-to-back simultaneously right after that whole series of magical events by following the same advice that I'm giving you. The proof that passion is gone in your life is the lack of prosperity in your environment if it shows up as a lack. So ask yourself, where did I resist change? Now here's the saying, man plans and God laughs. You are the God power, being the man, but you're acting like you're the mind. The mind is your servant, but it's become the master, and that's what keeps you stuck. We have deified our minds in this Western culture, and we have come to rely on the servant, and it shows up in how our government treats its own people. It is an entire holographic, tachyonic experience operating on many different levels, but we are epitomizing the servant of the mind, and it's what's destroying all of the success that you are wanting to receive if you're living in your head and not getting what you desire. Now, your mind only functions in all of its ways to try to keep you safe. It's driven by a reptilian part of your brain that only cares about survival and reproduction. And your mind thinks that the safer you become, the better you are off. But actually, the safer you become, the less prosperity you will command because you lack faith in the safe zone. They are two separate places. There's a faith zone and a safe zone. Now, miracles only respond to faith. And becoming a new creation, including translating your life from where you are to where you want it to be, like a magical journey, the same way that I did, is going to require a creative miracle. Let's talk about experiencing the unknown. So here's the thing. Everything you desire that you lack is in the unknown. Otherwise, it would be known. Your mind cannot give you what it doesn't know and understand. The parallel universe shift of vibrational reality. Imagine waking up suddenly in your dream life right now. Go there right now. Step into your mind's eye and become the person you've always dreamed about being. Imagine waking up in your dream house. Close your eyes and do this. Gazing around the room and mentally going through the house. How would your body look? How would your bank account balance look? Can you imagine having $50,000, $500,000, or $50 million extra? What kind of car would you drive? How would your lover appear before you? Can you sense the empowerment and joy that this vision brings you in your mind's eye right now? Where would you travel? What kind of friends would you have? Picture yourself living the way you would right now if you knew you couldn't fail. As the images and sensations set in, just listen to my words. Can you feel me there right now? This is your place of prosperity, the kingdom within, and this is the righteousness or the right thinking. Go ahead and open your eyes again if you've still got them closed. Hold on to this idea, this new image of you. You can see I put a picture here. This is kind of what I symbolize as the alpha upgrade. You know, he's fiercely unstoppable and, strong, etc. It's fun. It's an image that I like to look at. It reminds me of power and playfulness at the same time. So this new consciousness that you dreamt up in your mind came from your higher self. This is the God consciousness that it takes to make a quantum reality jump. You see, you get to choose who you show up as in the world. God individualized itself as you, and your personality arises from the level of being that you choose to show up in the world as. The corresponding reality that fits the mold of your vision becomes attracted into your life when you change who you show up in the world as. People, circumstances, events, etc. They become attracted to you. They already are attracted to you based on the level of vibration that you're in. That is your current set point reality. Everything in your world is there because you are attracting it based on the choice of who you show up as in your world. Now, to ask and answer the question, what is the fastest path to my joy in this moment, allows you to show up as your true self again that came into the world with prosperity. So I think it's a good idea to remember that, and the image you just did in your mind allows you to tap into that excitement and that joy again. Because it's not about what you think you want in the pictures in your mind, it's about the feeling behind it. Because that is the true nature of you. Now, next, you decide what problem you're going to solve. You see, if you need finances, money is a reward for solving a problem, okay? Everything created is designed to solve a problem, including you. Every person, everything is designed to solve a problem. So let's look at these areas for the assignment that you were born to do on this planet. Number one, what do you talk about the most? If you were to ask 5 of your closest friends and colleagues, what would they say that you talk about the most? Number 2, whose pain do you feel? And a better question is, whose pain can you not tolerate? Number 3, what would you invest your time doing if every job that you could possibly ever had paid the same amount of money? Let's say it's $20 an hour, every job, period. But you had to choose something and be productive. What path or line of work would you gravitate towards? These are good questions, and if you want to pause the audio to really think about these things and write down some notes, it might be a good idea, because this is designed to help you discover what you were born to do.
Hello, it's Amanda with Alpha Upgrade. This is my favorite ritual. Mo-Kane is a chocolate fat-burning energy-boosting formula that allows you to crush it. Mo-Kane is packed with adaptogens, minerals, and vitamins to help you combat stress, always on your A game. It has brain-boosting power ingredients like bacopa, L-tyrosinase, and more for the ultimate dopamine rush. Hence the name, Mo-Kane.
Remember, the prosperity that you're looking for is a place. So here's my answers below. I just asked and answered these same questions myself right before I put the webinar together so I could show you what I came up with. Number one, I talk all the time about creating, manifesting God and fitness and business. So that's what I do. Number two, I feel the pain of people that are trapped and stuck in life, whether it's through an illness or some other reason. You see, my grandpa showed me the pain of working your entire life, slaving for someone else and dying with your dreams inside of you. And I lived through the pain of being bedridden and ill and losing everything I owned, including my marriage, my health, everything. See, I cannot tolerate those things, so I do something about them. Number three, if every job paid the same, I would work to create products that solve people's problems. And that's what I do. So see how this aligns with discovering where my place of prosperity is, and consequently that's where my money showed up, and that's where all the lucky breaks came to me, was in that place of prosperity. Now, your place of prosperity is geographic too. So where are you celebrated? When you go out and about, are there certain places that people tolerate you, not necessarily celebrate you? You see, I avoid those places, and I go where I feel celebrated, including geographical areas and territories, because this is important, because prosperity is also geographically a place just as much as it is a place of faith instead of safety. So who values your gifts or knowledge? And who reaches for your help or assistance? These are clues to identify your true place of success. Where do you feel a sense of peace? Where do you feel joy and pleasure when you enter the environment? When you walk in, where do you feel like you belong and you're celebrated and you find a sense of peace? These are big clues. You see, when you understand this, then the dominoes will all fall into place. I spent years before I figured this out trying to do what other people told me I should do, like become an electrician or, be a manager of this place or try these other things. And I hated it. And consequently, I never did good at it, and I never made any real money doing it. And I lived a life that was about 75% crap because I followed somebody else's plan for my life. So if things aren't working out, you must be the one to change these things. Again, everything I've told you is how I was able to joyfully manifest millions of dollars doing what I love to do. Now, it's not about millions. Who cares how much it is? That's just a quantifier. You see, prosperity is having what you need in order to live the way that you want to live and do all the things that you were born to do. It doesn't matter if it's billions, millions, tens of millions, thousands, or even hundreds. There's nobody comparing you to other people except for you, because it's about your place of joy and prosperity. So your abundance will only increase as your vision and your conceptual understanding of yourself increases. So the secret to unlock uncommon success in life is mentorship, because of the exchange of wisdom. Someone who's achieved what you desire to. That is the shortcut. My first taste of this was when I was young and I learned karate. I learned from my sensei. Then I played hockey for 20 years and I learned from great coaches like the late Bob Suter. Then I wanted to learn guitar, so I found great teachers online to follow and to model. I wanted to become an internet millionaire. That was in my dream list, and so I did it. I found people that showed me how to do it. I wanted to self-heal because I was dying with Lyme disease, so I relentlessly invested over 10,000 hours passionately trying to save my life, and by the grace of God, my faith unlocked the miracle to do it. And I did it with bodybuilding. I wanted to lose fat and become lean and chiseled. Every step of the way, a mentor or a series of mentors helped me unlock the puzzle by transferring wisdom to me. I reached upward to get access to a proven mentor. I didn't just choose anybody. I chose someone I resonated with, somebody that made me feel confident in my ability to learn from them and to be able to duplicate what they did. So in every category I did this. Places like YouTube, Google, or even Facebook, you can spot these mentors, and if you ask, you will receive. They will show up if you're looking for them. So when you show honor up to the mentor, then the favor flows down from them to you, and then you become who you hang around. Really becomes exciting, because as you reach up, you get to raise your level and you get to raise your excitement in life. So you obtain the wisdom that you pay for. I've noticed this. The wisdom you get for free is usually of little value. It's the wisdom that you pay for that becomes the wisdom that transforms your life because of the currency. You see, we are bioelectric, quantum fluctuations in a vast sea of infinite possibility. We're holograms in a 3D matrix, or like the Bible says, we are salt and light. What we sow into, we reap. We attach our energy or our currency, and we send it out. The money is just paper, or the credit card. These are just conceptual ideas for currency that we are sending out in the universe. Energy cannot be lost. It cannot be taken from you. There is no such thing as a zero-sum game. It always returns, and it returns in like kind from where you sowed your seed into. There's a saying I learned from my mentor that if you want to become rich, you sow a tithe, which is the sacred tenth. It's in my book, Allow. I'll talk about that later. It's one of the secrets of prosperity, permanent prosperity. You sow upward to receive prosperity, and you sow downward to the poor in order to improve your health. But you have to be careful when you sow into charities that are needy, wanty, because then you are also bringing that energy back into your vibrational field. So it's a balance, and you got to be understanding what you're doing if you want to become conscious of it. When you sow into the anointing you want to have in your life, the saying soon applies to you in the proper context that goes like this. There's a story that says when the person with the experience shows up to meet the person with the money, then the person with the experience gets the money, and the person with the money gets the experience. Let's look at this in real life, and we're going to get onto some delicious stuff here quick. I know this has gone on quite a bit, but we're going to start making transformations in just a few moments, so stay with me, please. For your sake, stay with me. Now, the state of being, again, we look at the definition of consciousness. Again, we went through this. And let's take a look at what experience means according to the dictionary. I use it interchangeably with consciousness in this understanding of the story that when a person with money shows up and meets the person with experience, the person with experience gets the money, and the person with the money gets the experience. So what do you want in life? You want the experience or the consciousness of somebody who has what you want, because if you have that, then it will have to show up in your material world, because as within, so without. So experience is defined here as the synonym awareness of, and that is exactly one level of consciousness understanding. So the Vedic scriptures declare that consciousness is both the experience and the experiencer. You're only meeting yourself when you engage in life. Your circumstances are a reflection of your consciousness, and you get to choose. And prosperity and success is a choice that you make based on decisions that you're making every single day. You don't get to choose your destiny in life. You get to choose your decisions that you make. And those decisions become habits, and that habit drives your destiny into fruition. What you're going to run into if you don't understand how to escape your box and stay as the person you want to show up in the world as, you'll run into the ego booby trap. And it could keep you stuck for years, like it does for many people, including me, until I figured out what to do with it. Now, since the mind is not aware of having the goal that it desires, it remains in a state of wanting instead. So if you want to make $200,000 a month and you've only ended up ever achieving $20,000 a month, you don't know how to have that money. And so your mind will like the idea of wanting it, because want equals lack. Your mind is very good at lacking and wanting, but if it doesn't have it, it has no understanding how to get it. And the ego becomes addicted to wanting the goal because it can keep you stuck in that safe place. Because the ego always thinks that because you're still alive, that wherever you're at, your current level of reality is the safe place. Now, your mind will sabotage you at every turn, including when it beats you up for not knowing how to achieve your goal. Now, you can't have the awareness of an experience you haven't had yet. Is it any wonder that you might remain stuck in your current situation for months, years, or even decades, or a lifetime? So when would you like to become aware and have the experience and the consciousness of what you want and desire? How about now? Would you like to clear your blockages so you can move ahead? A mentor I invested time with gave me this technique, and I'm going to impart it to you. I'm going to transfer this wisdom to you right now through this presentation. And I'm going to show you how to tune into your higher self. You're going to learn a sacred command language of the higher self and use a sacred code to access your consciousness at a higher level. And I'm going to share that with you in just a moment. And you will literally command the universe to act on your behalf. Now, this is understanding and wisdom that has been kept sacred by the Knights Templar, the mystics, Babaji, Earth Masters. This has been jealously guarded information that is usually available to elite class individuals, but it kind of slipped down through the ranks and a certain group of people have been privy to this understanding and have used it to alter the course of their lives forever, including yours truly. Again, Earth masters like Babaji, who ended up teaching my mentor this process, they understood that we live in many dimensions all at once, and higher dimensions can be initiated to do your bidding for you, that can bypass your ego mind. So the higher flows down to the lower. That is the concept you have to understand. And results will appear in your world. And you can tune in and check the current trajectory and get feedback from your higher self. There's a self-diagnostic tool we can use to monitor this process. So we're going to install a new frequency in our DNA right now to manifest our desired outcome. Now, step one in the higher manifestation process, we're going to get into that right now. You're going to connect with your higher self, and I'm going to show you how. So take your left hand and just hold it out in front of you with the palm facing downward. Now, don't try to do anything. Just relax, and the less you try, the better this will go for you. Now, just put your attention on your left hand without giving it much thought. And just say to yourself, I'm connecting with my higher self now. Now feel and notice how you notice the tingling increase in the hand. Again, the less you try, the more this will happen for you spontaneously. That tingling sensation is your connection to your higher self. You are now connected to an understanding that will give you an answer that will be far more clear than anything your mind will give you on its own. So let's make a manifestation and let's clear the blocks. So the first thing we have to do is we have to test and we have to get a response from our higher self to know that we're doing this and getting a right response. So as you have your hand in front of you and you're just relaxed with the palm facing down and you're just paying attention to your hand, relaxing it, you're connected to your higher self, you're feeling the tingling. I want to ask a question, and I'm going to ask it silently. And I'm going to ask you if you notice the energy flowing from your palm outwards towards your fingertips out, or if you notice the energy flowing inwards from the fingertips underneath the hand towards the palm. So again, I'm going to ask a question in my own mind, and I want you to pay attention to what you notice. Okay, you should notice the energy flowing out from your palm towards the end of your fingertips and leaving your hand. Now, to make sure you got it right, just say, my name is, and state your name, and notice the same energy flowing from your palm out your fingertips, from your palm outward. That is a yes statement. Now, say, my name is, and say a fake name, and you should notice the energy flowing in towards your fingertips, flowing underneath towards your palm. That is a no statement. Now, once you've got this down, again, the less you try, the easier this is going to become for you. You will have access to a yes-no command, understanding your higher self's perspective based on questions that you can ask. So here's what we're going to do. Let's put this down for a minute and you can stop using your left hand. We're going to command the universe to do our bidding, and we're going to make a manifestation right now. So I want you to get your pen and paper and write this down. It is commanded by the laws of the golden liquid realms and alchemical powers that I manifest. State your goal, whatever it is, put it in there. Or something better by, and then put the date in there that you would like to manifest it by. Now, here's what to keep in mind. There is no right or wrong, and numbers, I like to use financial goals because numbers are all made up anyway. The difference between $10,000 and $100,000 is just the size of the idea that you deploy. That's all there is to it. So put something in there that you want to manifest. and put a timeline on it. 30 days is a good timeline, or something quantifiable so it's not too far in the future. Now, you're going to draw a sacred code called a Tribeca. Now, the Tribeca is actually a technology. It affects consciousness at a higher level, and the Tribeca manifesting system has been used by mystics and ancients, again, like I said, for a long time. The Templar Knights, the Knights Templar, used this to command great amounts of wealth from the universe, and it actually backfired on them later in life because they misused the power. So what I'm showing you is actually potent. It's very powerful, and you never want to misuse it, because if it's in the wrong hands, it can backfire. So always use it for good, and use it to manifest things that excite you, especially if they involve benefiting other people in positive ways. Now, what it's going to do is it's going to integrate a new frequency in your DNA that's going to allow you to manifest what you desire much more swift and much more easily, because it bypasses the thinking, logical aspect of your human nature. Now, here's how the Tribeca looks on paper. So do this with me now. Draw these 3 circles, and then draw the circle in the middle. And you can see the little, looks like a fish symbol or a sail that's in there with a little dot in the middle. So just draw that for now and get used to drawing that Tribeca. Now you have drawn the Tribeca and you've written out your statement. So speak your statement out loud. It is commanded by the laws of the golden liquid realms and alchemical powers that I manifest, stay your goal, or something better by. Now your goal, let's imagine it's this amount of money or whatever it is. Put that picture, that image, into the center of the manifestation. Okay? Now here's what you're going to do. You're going to take the code with that picture that you put in the center, and I want you to close your eyes and take that code in your mind's eye and inhale it to your third eye right now. Your third eye is between your eyebrows. It's the chakra between your eyebrows. And if you don't know what the chakras are, just imagine the chakra system is a series of energy nodes, and it is part of the bioelectric energy quantum body that is more real than your physical body. And there's a diagram right over here that shows you on this, where you can see the third eye there. So inhale the code to the third eye. Now you're going to exhale the code that you drew down to the Earth's core, which is the 13th chakra. Your 13th chakra actually attaches to the Earth's core. So exhale that code down to the 13th chakra, to the Earth's core. Now you're going to inhale the code into the center of your heart in your heart chakra. And now you're going to exhale the code to the 10th chakra, which is about 2 feet above your head. And finally, you're going to exhale again and bring the code back into the heart chakra. And you're going to see it come together. The 3 circles are going to come together at the center of your heart right now. And I want you to repeat after me. We're going to speak the command to make this happen. Aham Brahmasmi. Ta Asia into Doe. Elhi Jateth. Om Kriya Babaji Nama Om. I am this I am. Okay, now that we've spoken the command to put this into works and to get the manifestation started, you're going to exhale the code from your heart center back down to the 12th chakra, about 6 inches below your feet. And now just release it and let it go. Completely let it go. Now this is going to activate every cell and reprogram your DNA for the vibration to integrate within you based on your new intention. And this will emit a new signal out into the universe. So now that we've set forth this manifestation, we're going to ask if there are any blockages that need to be cleared. So again, bring out your left hand like we did earlier. Put it out in front of you, palm facing down. This is not a thinking man's game. Just pay attention to the hand. Don't give it any thought, but pay attention to the tingling and say, I am connecting to my higher self. And notice how the tingling increases. This is your cue, your signal that you are connected to this higher part of you that knows. I want you to ask, are there any blockages to the manifestation I just set forth? Now, if the energy is flowing from your palm outward, that is a yes. That means there are blockages. If the energy is flowing inward, towards your palm, in from your fingertips towards the palm, then that means you have no blockages, because that's a no response. So I'm going to assume that there are blockages, and we're going to go ahead and clear them right now. So we're going to clear the top priority unconscious blockages right now. This is the second step in the higher self manifestation process. I want you to say and repeat after me, and I want you to write this down afterward. It is commanded by the laws of the golden liquid realms and alchemical powers that this Sri Yantra transceiver be used to clear up immediately the top priority unconscious money blocks, remove them and delete them permanently from my memory bank and all cells, my DNA, and my world now. So go ahead and write that down, pause the video, and then speak that command out loud, and then start the video, and I'll take you to the next step. Now, you're going to take a look at the center of this code. This is the Sri Yantra transceiver. If you don't know what a Sri Yantra is, or a Tribeca for that matter, you can look these up later, but for now, just take my word for it. Put your attention onto the center of the Sri Yantra, and just allow your eyes to fixate on the symbol for just a moment. Now I want you to close your eyes and inhale the code into your third eye. Now allow this code to permeate every cell of your being. Imagine it flooding throughout every cell of your body, spreading itself down through your chest, through your arms, through your stomach, through your legs, through your feet, and then out into your world. And now take the code from your third eye, inhale and exhale it down your spine to the base root chakra, which is at the base of your spine right now. Good. Now, you're going to make a command statement. Say Ta Asia into Doe. Now we're going to test the results with your higher self and see if the blockage has been cleared. So again, put your hand out in front of you. Don't think, don't try to analyze. Just palm facing down, relax your hand, notice the tingling, and say, I'm connecting to my higher self. Notice it tingling some more. And ask, are there any blockages to the manifestation that I set forth today? Now the energy should be flowing inward from your fingertips to the underneath your palm and down towards your forearm. That is a no signal. If you haven't gotten a no signal, then do the clearing again until you get a no signal. You will get one. So now this means that you have cleared the blocks at a much deeper level than the level of the mind, and it's very important to stay clear. So you're going to check yourself every so often to make sure you're still clear. And as long as you remain clear, then you have the capacity to move forward much more efficiently than before. Now, you must take an action towards manifesting your goal after you set it into motion, because this completes the masculine aspect of creation. We just did the divine feminine, the manifesting part that is the feminine aspect. Now we have to take an action to create the masculine aspect of creation. So you're going to take action and measure results. You're going to ask yourself, what is my next required action? You're going to perform that action, and then you're going to measure your results. The only thing that matters are results. And then change your approach if necessary. There's no need to repeat the manifestation you set forth. One time is enough. Now, you can repeat the blockage clearing as often as necessary, but keep taking action and be 100% committed, and you will succeed. See, if you're 100% committed, then you will succeed beyond your wildest dreams, because that is what it takes to make anything happen, and this just happens to be manifesting on steroids. So let's dial you into the place where your prosperity awaits you. So you've got your pen and paper handy, and we've gone through how to find it with the questions we asked earlier. So let's keep going forward and let's discover some more. So remember, when I asked you what the spread was, what the gap was, how much it's costing you to stay stuck every year, the average person, it's at least $72,000 or more. The average person needs at least an extra $6,000 a month to buy their life back, and many times double that or more. This is their lost opportunity cost, not to mention the cost of life itself. So the best income generating model that I know of in what I call a low-cost entry world is what happens to be called in marketing a targeted online funnel that is offering a product or service that solves a red-hot burning problem. You see, money is a reward for solving problems, and you want to look for a fire that you can put out, because wherever there's a fire, there's somebody willing to do whatever it takes to put the fire out, and that is the best, most efficient business model I've ever discovered that repeatedly works time and time again. Now, building this type of income asset, see, income assets are what rich people buy with their money. They buy assets that put more money in their pocket. They spend money instead of penny pinching and saving. They buy more assets and they get richer. So aligning with your true place of success with the necessary skills. The process of creating a turnkey internet cash machine business involves a proficient understanding of three things: digital marketing and sales with distribution. Number two, the actual solution you're offering, because you're going to provide a transformation. That's what you offer, the transformation. And number three, the wisdom to allow success in your life by staying out of your ego booby traps.
Hey, it's Matthew, and before you go, check this place out. This is the House on the Rock Resort in Spring Green, Wisconsin. It is amazing. It's transformational, and the reason why I'm showing you this is because I'm having a live workshop here for just a select few dozen people, and I'm going to be teaching a breakthrough technique called the self-entrainment technique. Here's what it allows you to do and gives you the power to command what you desire in your universe. See, it's not about thinking, because thoughts are a symptom of vibration. You can't climb the emotional vibrational scale like some self-help experts and law of attraction leaders tell you. That's nonsense. When I was bedridden and bankrupt, that stuff didn't work at all. Here's what works. You shift your physiology, you transform the neural pathways, and you change your state of being, and then new thoughts and new ideas come to you as a symptom of your new vibrational set point. And one shortcut secret, one scientific technique has the power and the ability to teach you that. So check out the webinar link below and watch the webinar and find out how you can participate and get to this seminar no matter what it takes. If you want a transformation, this is it. This is the answer. I'll see you at the webinar.
So lastly, you should remember where I began, because I too had many excuses why I couldn't do it. I didn't have any money. I didn't have any health. I didn't have any joy. I was stuck. I was beyond stuck. But see, my curse was also my blessing. And so whatever reasons that you have why you shouldn't do it, those are actually your reasons to do it. Your curses are your blessings. Are you too old? Good. Then you should move ahead so you can buy time and enjoy the rest of your life. Are you too broke? Well, good. Stop doing what makes you broke and change your strategy. Are you too out of shape? Good. Then buy some time, get some extra money, and get moving again. Are you with a negative spouse? Good. She's positive you're not living up to your full potential, so change that. Are you working too many hours? Good. You realize that more work is not the answer now, at least not in that type of work. So I did it. And if I did it, you can become an overnight success, as they say. The last way you can participate is just stay connected. There's a lot of value that I put out that you can have without paying anything. Just stay connected. Get a free digital copy of my book, Allow, Mastering the Law of Least Effort to Receive Your Desires. It's a transformational workshop in an easy-to-read book. It's a blueprint. It details the processes that some of which we talked about, but other stuff too that can take you to where you want to go. You can get a free copy at allow.ws. And if you upgrade to the hard copy of the book, you get a one-on-one 10-minute breakthrough session with me that can take you further from what this video did to help you identify whatever place you might be having a question or still stuck. Now, another fantastic method that can transform your life, something I developed this product called Mo-Kane. It's mocha, and it's a play on words, Mo-Kane, because it gets you feeling really good from what I understand, and it tastes amazing. It has this rich coffee aroma. It's just beautiful. It's a beautiful, delicious, gorgeous chocolate, loving it everyday product. So the Mo-Kane Miracle Morning, what I call the Mo-Kane Miracle Morning, is an experience that you can use to lock in your vision you created earlier when you pictured yourself living in your dream life. And we'll offer you a couple free trial baggies. Now, that's another play on words there. And you just pay the shipping and handling, and we'll send it out to you to try, and that's at Mo-Kane.com. But keep in mind, if you upgrade and get a full canister, then you can get the Mo-Kane Miracle Morning instructional course download, and I highly recommend that because I'm going to show you how to structure your day in a way that sets you up for absolute success. Remember, you don't get to choose your success in life. You get to choose your daily habits, and your daily habits are what make you successful or unsuccessful if you don't have the right habits. So one last recommendation that I have to make is many men that are advancing in age have prostate issues. So I believe it's 1 out of every 3 men or something like that, or 1 out of every 2 men above the age of 50 or 55 have an enlarged prostate, and it's estimated, I think, upwards of 1 out of 3 men will get prostate cancer at some point in their life or be diagnosed with it. This is a very scary issue, and I happen to have issues with that at a younger age in life that happened to me. So I went to do what I do best and put my, focus and my intent on manifesting a solution. And prostatereset.com tells about a solution that I discovered. It may or may not be for you, but it's something that a doctor of mine told me to get involved with and to never stop doing, and it's something I've been doing ever since, and I've had great health in that area of my prostate, and I want to share it with you. But most importantly is you can get a free trial bottle of the actual product I'm talking about. Just pay the shipping and handling. It's like $5.97. It's a $20 bottle. This stuff's amazing. I've been on it for 2 years now, 2.5, almost 3 years, and I love it. And we have a monthly white glove VIP auto replenishment service too. Now, that's funny too because it's not the white glove that the doctor gives you when you get your prostate checked. We don't do that. But what I'm talking about is the white glove service where you get a ridiculously low price. I don't think anybody in the industry really has the cojones to do this because it's basically just giving it away at cost just because I want you to have it. I want to build this relationship, a quality connection, so that you understand that there is a web, there's a network of people out there like you and I, and if we stay connected, we can evolve, we can grow together. So it's one of the ways I want to put value into your life and grow together with you in this process. And I'll leave you with the following. You cannot solve the challenges in your life from the level of consciousness that is creating them. So throughout this entire presentation, I've shared with you ways and techniques and strategies that have helped me and many other people that have mentored me, taught me these things. Changing your consciousness is the name of the game. So mentorship is success without the struggle to get there. It definitely shortens the process. And if you want to change your life, then you have to change your life. So I invite you to alpha upgrade your lifestyle. It is my sincere hope that you accomplish the ability to see clearly how to find your true place of prosperity and really ask and answer those questions I gave you because they will hone you and tune you in on them. And prosperity is a place. You were born to do something, not everything. And when you do what you were born to do, prosperity is the reward for following your path in life. And you can use the following industry disruptors that everybody is complaining about to your advantage. Things like job displacement to robots and AI, they can be employed by you. You can use AI to market to your audience. Currently, they call this stuff retargeting in the digital marketing world, where all this technology is watching your every step on the internet, and it's making a social blueprint, and it's digitizing, and even soon will be forecasting your move before you even make it. This stuff is all available to online marketers, and you can put these technological tools to work for you so you can just go out and enjoy life. You can build an asset that you can reinvest in building more and more, and most of the time you get rewarded by tax breaks and investing in assets that produce more revenue and growing your businesses. So I'm not a tax professional. Talk to your personal tax person, but that's usually how the game is set up. And instead of trying to penny pinch and save, because losers are savers in the new economy. Savers are losers in the new economy. The new economy is all about leveraging debt. And unfortunately, that is what we've created. But if you understand the game, then you understand why people like Robert Kiyosaki and all the big tycoons are leveraging a lot of debt in order to create a lot of cash flow, and that is their strategy. So savers are losers in the new economy, and you can build and you can grow your own personal empire. And most importantly, enjoy each day and live as free as you can. You deserve the lifestyle that you dreamed of having in the beginning of this webinar when I asked you to go there and to reach your mind's eye and see yourself doing it. You already have what it takes to accomplish this, or you could not get excited about it. That's a true story. So I'm standing by, and I'm ready to serve you. Your correspondent, Matthew David Hurtado, that's me, and there's a picture of me with my youngest daughter, Fiona, and that's what's important to me. I get to see her every day, and life is delicious when you are loved. God bless and take care.